evening.
Kathleen, I'm sorry about that link, but hopefully. Just want to welcome everyone to today's meeting. Thank you all for taking the time. Do appreciate it. I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy out there. I know it's still pretty crazy with this variant, but we're all doing the best we can. So, with that call to order, I'd like to then begin with roll call, and of course, please, when Denise does call your name, if you could just say your name, introduce yourself. And just say where you're zooming in from today, that would be great.
Okay. Commissioner Larry Keeler.
I'm Commissioner and Vice Chair Larry Keeler, Commission on Disability Issues, calling from my my comfortable recliner on the west side of Ann Arbor.
Okay, I edit that for Vice Chair. Commissioner Alex Gossage.
Present from Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Commissioner Tim Hall.
Yeah, Commissioner Tim Hall from Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Thank you. Commissioner Kathleen Mozak.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kathleen Mozak, and I'm a commissioner calling in from Ann Arbor.
Thank you. Commissioner Matthew Solomon isn't present. Commissioner Kinsey Button isn't present. Christina M. Allen Pippin isn't present. Let's go to you, Chair Zachary Damon.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you. My name is Zach Damon. I'm the chairman of the Commission on Disability Issues. Denise just wanted to point out for one of the commissioners, she will be joining us, but she'll be late today.
Yes, Commissioner Pippin.
Yep. So she will be joining us, and hopefully when she comes on, she can be counted as present. But yes, I'm Zach Damon. I'm the chairman. And I'm coming to you, excuse me, from Ann Arbor. So,
Commissioner Rachel Hawkins isn't present, and Deborah Poster isn't present yet. Okay, we do not have a quorum.
All right. Well, since we don't have a quorum, we're kind of, a little bit stuck here. I guess, we're not really able to approve or vote on anything, but I think it'd be nice to just kind of go down to the presentation portion. I just wanted to check before we do that, though, if there is any public comment this afternoon from any of those tuning in. So Denise, do we have any public comment today?
No, I don't see anyone presently.
Okay. Then hopefully we can have, once Commissioner Pipkin comes in and introduces herself and then says where she's from, hopefully we can move forward. But since we do not have a quorum at this time, I'd like to skip down to the presentations so that we can be just conducive of everyone's time. So with that, I'd like to start with our first presentation. Katie Monkevich for the library, for the Washington Hall Library for the Blind and Physically Disabled. So good afternoon, Katie.
Hello, hi everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great, excellent. All right, so I have some announcements today, some events going on at the library. We still have a call for artists happening. The Ann Arbor District Library is seeking visual artists for exhibition on the gallery screen in the lobby at the downtown library. Established artists offering the non-exclusive licensing of existing works and emerging artists proposing the creation of new works are both invited to apply. More information, including how to submit for the call, can be found at aadl.org/call-for-artists. We have several Washtenaw Reads 2022 events happening soon, coming up in February. Our featured event is on Thursday, February 17th from 4 to 5:30 p.m. It's an online author event with Judith Heumann and Christian Joyner discussing the book Being Human. AADL is proud to welcome Judith Heumann and Christian Joyner for an online author event to discuss her memoir, Being Human, an unrepentant memoir of a disability rights activist. We have some supporting events as well. On Tuesday, January 25th from 6 to 7 p.m., we have an online book discussion of The Pretty One on life, pop culture, disability, and other reasons to fall in love with me by Kia Brown. From the disability rights advocate and creator of the hashtag Disabled and Cute viral campaign, a thoughtful, inspiring, and charming collection of essays exploring what it means to be Black and disabled in a mostly able-bodied white America. Then on Thursday, February 3rd from 6 to 7 p.m., we have a Washtenaw Reads online AADL staff discussion. You can watch the AADL staff discuss the 2022 Washtenaw Read Being Human. Then on Saturday, February 5th from 3 to 5 p.m., we have an online film screening of Crip Camp, A Disability Revolution. Crip Camp, A Disability Revolution tells the story of a groundbreaking summer camp for teens with disabilities that inspired a group of its alumni to join the radical disability rights movement and advocate for historic legislation changes. Then on Thursday, February 10th at 5 p.m., we have our show Bibliophiles. They'll be discussing the 2022 Washtenaw Read Being Human. A couple of AADL staff members will briefly discuss the 2022 Washtenaw Read Being Human. We invite you to give us your own opinions on the book in the comments section. Okay, we've got some information about materials as usual. WLBPD patrons can order digital cartridges by calling 734-327-4224 or by emailing wlbpd@aadl.org. And to sign up for the Braille and audio reading service, Bard, to download your own books, visit nlsbard.loc.gov or just call us and we can assist with the application. Here are some books that have recently been added to Bard. The Peanuts Papers, Writers and Cartoonists on Charlie Brown, Snoopy and the Gang and the Meaning of Life by Andrew Blauner. A collection of 33 essays by writers and artists reflecting on the influence of the Peanuts comic on their lives. In You're Weird, Sir, Jennifer Finney Boylan examines her life as a closeted transgender person and the comfort she derived from reading Peanuts and, in particular, the character of Pigpen. Playlist for the Apocalypse, Poems by Rita Dove. A collection of 73 poems by the author of Mother Love. Poems range from exploring the experience of the first Jewish ghetto in 16th century Venice to the efforts of Black Lives Matter and themes scope between the individual and the global. And What It's Like to Be a Bird, from flying to nesting, eating to singing, What Birds Are Doing and Why, by David Sibley. Author and illustrator of Bird Guides presents a guide for birders and non-birders to better understand what common birds are doing and why. Questions answered include whether birds can smell, is the cardinal you see feeding the same as last year, and do robins hear worms? Okay, that's all I've got for today. Does anybody have any questions for me?
All right, I don't think so. So Katie, thank you so much to you and all of the staff of the Ann Arbor Library for the Blind and Physically Disabled, and of course the Ann Arbor District Library. You guys do a lot of great work, and thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks so much for having me. You all take care.
All right. Awesome. Next, we have the Ann Arbor Center for Independent Living report with Alex Gossage.
Thanks, Zach. Good afternoon, everybody. It's good to be back and Happy New Year. The CIL is busy as always. We continue to be open to folks giving us a call, or we can also contact through email if anybody is in need of supports, resources in the community, or looking for activities to do. The best way to reach folks at the CIL right now would be to call at 734-971-0277, or you can email us with questions at info@aacil.org. You can also visit our website at www.annarborcil.org. Just going to highlight a couple of things that we have going on right now. A new activity that's going to be starting up in February. It's going to be a virtual cooking class. So Tasty Tuesdays is going to be 4 to 5:30 on February 8th, February 22nd. And then there's going to be some March and April dates as well, March 8th, March 22nd, and April 5th. Learn new recipes, connect with folks in the community, and hopefully we will be able to see some of you there. For more information, you can contact Anna at aacil.org, or you can contact Natalie at nwaske@aacil.org. We also have a Disability Film Festival that we are running for the second year in a row here. There's a call for submissions out right now. The Nothing About Us Without Us Film Festival returns this spring, in addition to screening films and documentaries about disability inclusion. This year, we're featuring short films created by local community members about disability experiences, disability inclusion, and the values of the independent living movement in partnership. We're doing this in partnership with Disability Network of Southwest Michigan. Submissions are due February 20th, and the film festival will be April 19th through the 21st. For more information on submitting anything, you can go ahead and email our info email at info@aacil.org. We do continue to also have just some of our longtime activities that we've had during this last couple of years of dealing with COVID. So our virtual movie club is on Thursdays from 4 to 5. The next one will be tomorrow. They're going to be talking about The Never-Ending Story. You can talk to Shannon at sclark@aacil.org for more information. There are also, we continue to have virtual art sessions. Tuesdays from 3 to 4:30, and we have guided sessions. Right now, they are focusing on drawing for the month of January, and then Thursdays from 1 to 2:30 is open studio, and you can talk to Clara Moore for more information. Her email is cmoore, CMOORE @aacil.org. As always, there's lots of other things going on. Folks are welcome to check out our website, and I encourage, again, folks to give us a call if they have any questions, concerns, needs, or just looking for some new activities, or have any sort of useful information they feel like they'd like to share with us so that we can be doing a better job of working with and on behalf of the disability community. And that's what I've got today.
So awesome. And of course, the Nothing About Us Without Us film festival project you guys are collaborating with. So cool, man. So definitely wish you the best of luck with that. And for those that are just tuning in or don't know about the Ann Arbor Center for Independent Living, please feel free to visit aacil.org to find out all the wonderful resources that you offer. And Alex, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Awesome. And also, folks, if you don't mind, before I give the community engagement committee update as well as Ann Arbor Inclusive, I would like just to work our way back to the top of the agenda, as we did have some commissioners join us in between presentations. So we do have a quorum. So what I'd like to do is just really quick approve the agenda for today, the updated agenda, that is. And if anyone has any objections, to speak up now, but I'd like to just give like 1 minute for everyone to just look it over. And then if we could all just give a vote and approval, that would be great. Okay. Is there a motion to approve today's agenda?
I'll move to approve.
All right, Larry moves to approve. All in favor of approving today's meeting agenda, please unmute, raise your hand, and say aye.
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 All right, thank you guys very much. The agenda is approved. Next, we're just going to move down very briefly to the approval of the meeting minutes for December. And as always, it's located within our agenda as well. Didn't know if you guys hadn't had any corrections in those, or if you guys needed anything corrected in the December meeting minutes. If you did not get the meeting minutes or did not have an opportunity to look at them, we can provide those, hopefully with a link. But I'd like to just take 1 second to review those, and then have an opportunity if there's anyone that would like to motion to approve those. I don't see anything from December. Is there a motion to approve the December meeting minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Kathleen.
I'll second.
Okay, Larry seconds. So if you're all in favor of approving the December meeting minutes, please unmute, raise your hand, and say aye.
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 All right.
Aye.
thank you guys. I appreciate you letting us go back and do that since we have a quorum. Thank you very much. I know we're kind of skipping around here, but I appreciate your
For a
patience.
minute, Chair, may I ask Commissioner Poster rather where she's calling in from today?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, go ahead, Commissioner Poster.
From Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Welcome. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Well, welcome, Deb. Thank you. All right. Sorry about this, guys. I know it's kind of all over. So next, we have the Community Engagement Committee report and Ann Arbor Inclusive Update. I do have the Ann Arbor Inclusive Update, but I was wondering, does anyone else have the Community Engagement Committee report? Because I did not get that from Commissioner Hawkins. Okay. Well, I will give the.
I can say, Zach, that community engagement, we did meet this last just the other week.
Okay.
It's hard to tell which day it is anymore this month.
Yeah.
We did have we had a few people attend this the meeting this time, so we actually had a great time. Rachel was there, Councilmember Nelson attended, in addition to Larry and myself, as usual.
That was the 12th.
Thank you. On the 12th. The main focus of the meeting, we ended up going in a few different directions, but I think one of the things that we wanted to, I guess, bring up to the group, and Councilmember Nelson, if maybe we want to bring up this next month instead, I'm not sure if we're ready yet, but we did have a resolution we wanted to bring to the group to discuss and get feedback from, and hopefully have it be something that we ask City Council to approve.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I mean, I would, I'd definitely welcome that. I definitely hope that we can have some other commissioners be able to see that as well, so that you guys can kind of get a fair amount of eyes on it, so that we can all kind of approve that and have it be given a fair opportunity, such as some other commissioners that are not present. But I would be fine with having the Community Engagement Committee bring that forward coming up in February. And then hopefully, would you guys be able to just send that to either Denise or myself, or both of us, so that we can distribute it to the commission like for review, so that at that February meeting it can be put on our agenda, and then we can discuss it in terms of what we thought, in terms of when we read it, whether there needs to be some changes in the language, or whether we think it's fine the way it is, and then possibly have a motion to approve it and bring it before council. Would you guys be comfortable with that?
Yeah, that sounds great to me.
Yeah, I just did a first pass at writing something up. I've done a couple of resolutions like this where you have sort of an idea of what the end goal is, and then you're just basically you're directing the city administrator to like come up with a plan. We had a meeting with the former city administrator about like, how are we doing these accessible signals, and like, do we have any formal process? And so really they're like kind of two pieces of it. One piece is to have a formal process that can be promoted and public facing, so that the CIL or anybody else who lives near a signal that needs to be have the audio can figure out where to apply or put in an application. So there's that piece of it, to just have that process in place. And then the second piece of it is to have an idea in mind of like parameters of like, how do we identify the ones that really need to be, that we can't replace them all immediately, right? So we have to prioritize. And so in addition to residents requesting, is there a strategy that we can think about, like these signals on these major thoroughfares, or these signals that are near shopping, like how do we figure out like which ones do we really need to do first? If we're like, and what are our goals? Like how many can we do a year? And so part of that is having the city administrator like crunch the numbers and figure out like, this is how many we can have as a goal to upgrade every year. This is how many this is how long and all of that. So it's not real in the weeds. It's sort of like, this is where we're headed. Like, please like come up with a plan. So I'll send the language to you, and actually I can reach out to one of the missing pieces of it is whenever you make a resolution like this, where it's like, please like come up with a system and put a plan in place. Like you have sort of set a deadline, like, and report back to council by this certain date. And that's always a conversation with whatever city staff is cooking up the plan. Cause like, you don't say like by next week, because they're like, I can't do that. So like, when is the reasonable? So that's the piece of it that sort of needs to be filled in. But I can share the document. We just within the committee, they looked at the draft that I just sort of threw together. So
awesome. And so that's, for community engagement, and then also for PIA guys, or was that just for purely for community engagement?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
Cheers. Yeah, I tried to raise my hand, but I wasn't called on. That's what I was going to say. To be clear, this should be probably PIA too, because most of what we did was PIA stuff, and also the idea that one of the parts of the coming resolution that I'm going to like is that we're going to, if this all goes through, we'll have a place where we can tell people to go. Instead of, well, I don't know, we could go here, or we could go here. We're going to have a straight path to go to get these APSs done, and people may be able to get them done themselves if we just point them where to go. That's one of the objects too. So there's that.
No, wonderful. Thank you, Larry, for that tidbit. No, I think some great work being done by both the community engagement and partners in access. And, thank you both, Councilwoman Nelson and Alex, for bringing that to our attention. We appreciate it. And I look forward to reviewing that and hopefully putting it forth to City Council for review. With that, I'd like to give the Ann Arbor Inclusive update really quickly, you guys, if you don't mind, because we don't have Commissioner Hawkins with us this afternoon. And if it'll load, then I can open it. But of course, my computer is loading, so just give me a moment and I'll be able to announce that. In the meantime, what we'll do, here we go. All right, it says that so coming up, January's show is actually going to be a rerun. And as of right now, Ann Arbor Inclusive is sort of working on booking guests for February and March. So of course, they're going to have a rerun for this coming month, and then they're going to be booking for the next couple months ahead. And so that is the update for Ann Arbor Inclusive. I'd like to thank the Community Television Network staff for their work. Of course, Linda Evans and host Tom Hoatland for doing a great job. I think they're going to be going on season 8 coming up in 2022 of Ann Arbor Inclusive. So good job there. And hello, Rachel. I'm so sorry. We have all these commissioners joining us now. And so I'm just now, if you don't mind, Rachel, just introducing yourself, letting everyone know where you're zooming in from, and then I was just giving the Ann Arbor Inclusive update. So
I heard as I was coming in, and that was the information I had as well. Unfortunately, I don't have anything more from them, but my name's Rachel Hawkins, Commissioner, and I am in Sorry, I wanted to say Arizona because my background's in Arizona. I'm in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Wonderful, and we have Commissioner.
I know where you're at, Rachel.
And we have Commissioner Alan Pipkin as well, who joined us. So, Christiana, thank you so much. If you don't mind, just stating your name and where you're zooming from this afternoon.
Hi there. I'm Christiana Allen Pipkin, and I am joining from Ypsilanti, Michigan.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. I know that it's, it's hump day. It's middle of the week, and we all do our best job to give back, and I'm really appreciative of everyone's time, so thank you. All right, so with that, moving on now, we have Alex. I didn't know if you had anything else for the Partners in Access Committee. I know that we just covered a lot in that last conversation, Did we cover everything that you had for Partners in Access?
That was the main thrust of what we discussed. I think we talked about a couple of other ideas, but that was really where we landed by the end of the conversation. So
Okay, got it.
Thank you.
Sure. Next, we have recruiting activity, Mr. Larry Keeler.
Hello. Yeah, I hear there's an application out, and going to meet.
Oh, Larry, do you mind moving your phone or your microphone?
Oh,
Unfortunately,
it's right here.
What's that?
Can you hear me any better? Can you hear me any better?
Yes, I can hear you better now.
Yeah, this phone's not as good. If the thing moves an inch, we got issues. But I hear there's another application out, but unfortunately I have not seen it yet. But I guess we do have another applicant, but since the computer hasn't been up, I haven't seen it yet. So I should probably text you, Councilwoman Nelson, and we can go over that application if you've got record of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thing too, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll take a look at it as well, but I'd be curious, Larry, and then of course to get some input from you, Councilwoman, in terms of how you guys feel about this individual and whether we should vote him in. So wonderful. Anything else, Larry?
Not at present now.
All right. Thank you. All right. So next we have the Transportation Commission update with Mr. Tim Hall.
Yeah, so I was there last month. Most of the discussion was about the East Medical Center Drive Bridge and how U of M wants to like widen the lanes of it, and the commission is kind of pushed back at it because it didn't necessarily like the configurations they presented, and so that was the main part. And there was also some other presentations that we had, and we talked about our annual report, and some of the things had discussion about what they could do with the American Rescue Program funds, and also a tribute to a commissioner that passed away, that was Linda Diane Felt, who was the former chair of that. And this month we've got some discussion on the policy agenda that we're, as far as what they want to push for from the state at the state level. And I know obviously one big thing they want to see is about taking over some roads from MDOT, that because they restrict what we can do with them if they control it. Like, it's like, yeah, if we want to add a crosswalk or something, essentially we have to ask their permission, and that's been a problem, like as far as like bike lanes and other things, that they tend to want to only do stuff that benefits cars frequently. I mean, oftentimes they push back at pedestrian, and dealing with that. And so there's that, and some other items on the agenda, but I'm still taking care of it. Would like to find someone else to take it over, because I definitely don't plan on, at this point, I've been on this commission a while, and I'm not planning on going for a reappointment when my term ends in May. So would like to find someone to take over the Transportation Commission at some point. I know Kinsey Button expressed interest, though she's not here, and I'm not sure, because it's been a couple months now. I thought I gave her all the information, but...
Right. Yeah, but we definitely want to get someone in place to be able to sort of continue that communication, because that's of course important. And thank you, Tim, for your continued efforts, and at least up until May. And of course, we're sad to see you go, but definitely understandable. And then as far as Kinsey goes, unfortunately, I can't speak for others, but hopefully we can reconnect you two and find out if she is indeed still interested and then go from there. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
And if anyone else is interested, yeah, they feel free to. I mean, she might still be interested, in which case you could probably vote on which one you wanted. And yeah, just.
Yeah, I would say, commissioners, if there's any other out there, any other candidates out there that would be interested in that, please let myself know. Like, just shoot me an email and say, hey, I'm interested in the Transportation Commission liaison position with the Commission on Disability Issues. Then we can definitely address that in February. As of right now, on record, folks, Commissioner Button is the only one that's really expressed interest. I know that she spoke up upon that, but just wasn't sure at the time whether she could commit fully to that or not. But of course, I hope by February we can have someone in place and hopefully get a commitment, if not from Commissioner Button, someone who will be able to fill that role. So thank you, Tim. All right. Next, we have the great report from Kathleen on the U of M Council for Disability Concerns.
Hello, everyone. I don't have a lot to report, and I'm going to flip my screen here so I can read this out to you. Thank you for your patience. Where'd it go? Hang on. Oh, here we go. So I think in December, I mentioned that our Dr. Stephanie Rosen was stepping down from the chair position. So in January, a new chair has come forward. Her name is Pam McGinty. Some of you may know her. She does a lot of wonderful work around at the university. I also believe she's affiliated with the AACIL. And so in January, it was mainly sort of like an open office door day for people to come and talk about the next year, what we'd like to see, and her goals and aspirations coming. And as chair, we also have not settled on a single chair position. There's still talk that there might be a co-chair in the future. So I will be happy to give everybody that information when it becomes available. So we focused on work for an advocation work for the next year. And we're looking at improving parking availability on campus year round. I know we can all relate to this, especially regarding to plowing and ice removal. It can make parking and getting to your destination quite challenging. We want to ensure that individuals who are deaf or hard of hearing are able to get masking accommodations, and trying to clarify the information about the safety of masks with windows. We are going to continue to support the Neubacher Award winner, Vincent Pinty, to expand the PCA accessibility for students and other University of Michigan community members. We're also continuing to collaborate with existing partners and intentionally expanding the collective power of the CFDC by building new relationships. And we also are going to work with Ashley Wiseman to improve what is called Mapping Disabilities Inclusion. It's a prototype of searchable database of individuals and groups who are working in and related to disability issues. So while it was not, there wasn't a jam-packed agenda, it was quite a wonderful way for all of us to get our ideas out there, hear what Pam's forward thinking is, and gosh, it's going to be a really great year.
Yes, if I could unmute myself, I would totally agree with you. Sorry about the delay there, folks. Absolutely, and very enthusiastic. Congratulations and thank you to Pam. For her willingness to step up. In that role. I know that at times, seats and responsibilities can seem intimidating, but to have individuals who are enthusiastic and want to take those roles is great. And again, I think I sound like a broken record here, but what the U of M Council for Disability Concerns does is amazing. I think the work that you guys are putting forth in terms of providing just a plethora of resources, not only for the university community, but also for the general residents, and letting the commission know. Thank you, Kathleen, for all your work on that. I know it can seem at times a bit monotonous, but I do listen and hear the things that you guys are doing and try to keep on them, and it's great work. So thank you.
You're welcome. Y'all have a great day. Thanks.
All right. So thank you for that. Next, we have the city personnel report with Denise.
Good afternoon. Let's see. We are welcoming to the city of Ann Arbor Jessica Ashley, wastewater treatment service, water utility technician; Alexa Barta, Ann Arbor Housing Commission, occupancy specialist; Douglas Boatwright II, wastewater treatment service, water utility technician; Eric Connor, water treatment services, water utility technician; Jamie Chen, CTN specialist; Nicholas Kastner, water treatment service, water utility technician; Sarah Mason, public works, resource recovery manager; Bruce Tobias, public works technician; Alex Tobias, public works technician; Hillary Vandenberg, Ann Arbor Housing Commission administrative assistant. A retirement farewell to Telvis Bolden, fire services driver operator; Daniel Iverson, police detective 3; Andrew Rupert, parks and recreation; Kimberly Wimp, 15th district court clerk. In addition, please join the finance and administrative services area and congratulate accounts payable role for the city is Kim Hoffner. Thank you.
Wonderful. And to all those incoming and outgoing city staff, thank you so much for their services and all that they've done. And of course, the individuals that drive our firemen and make sure that those individuals respond accordingly. That's also commendable as well. So just to all of them, congratulations. And thank you for that report, Denise.
You're welcome.
Next up on the agenda, we have the chair report. And I would say the only thing that I really have to report was that, of course, I have two things. Number one, of course, hopefully we all observed and reflected upon this Martin Luther King Jr. Day that just happened this week. An amazing day and of course, an amazing man. So hopefully we all had an opportunity to reflect, and hopefully we can all continue to preserve that memory and move forward and be inclusive to all. And then secondly, as far as the chairman goes, I just want to encourage all commissioners who are here and also absent that if, and many of you have done a good job on this, but if by chance all of you, any of you are going to be absent, please, I encourage you to not just email Denise, but also CC myself, or vice versa, email myself and also CC Denise. That way, both of us are informed, so that when we do have roll call or we do have the meetings, just Denise and I are equally informed, so that we're able to just communicate that information correctly. And many of you do a fine job, but I just want to put that out there that it definitely helps to have a CC there. Just, hey, not going to make it today, Zach. We'll see you next month or something like that. So thank you all for that. And just wanted to put that out there as well. Let's see. So that is all I have for the chair report. Let's see. We did talk about the APS signal which is also under old business. Let's see. I know we had like snow buddies, I think, as well, that we were gonna talk about and work on. And I didn't know if any of the subcommittees had worked on the snow buddy or the bike traffic situations that were brought up. What kind of assistance does I think PIA was also planning on working on those? What kind of assistance do you guys need in that regard, and how are those going? Did you guys have a chance to sort of talk about those issues or talk about those, or are those kind of still ongoing?
Well, I know we talked about snow buddies a little bit, and that whole process, I think with city council and the city is ongoing, in terms of them looking at different options or considering different options for, whether it's a snow buddies like program or something different, something that'll help folks with clearing the snow. And then as far as the bike lanes, I had seen mention that there had been talk of us doing something. I didn't know what that was specifically. And that was a question I guess I had for the group. If there was something I was supposed to do, definitely let me know, and I'll try to reach out to some folks if I need to. I know Larry had talked about some concerns with some of the bike lanes and drop offs and things like that, but I don't know that we had a next steps for that of any kind.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think the next steps were really clarified or determined at this point. If I can remember correctly, I think mainly it was about making sure that the bike lanes, I think, allowed for, accessibility as well. I know that, I think some of them were just as far as placement and where they were looking to put certain things. I think we were saying that it's also nice for those bike lanes to have some sort of indicators in different things, so that, say, if someone is walking but they can't necessarily see, we don't want a biker to necessarily run into someone or vice versa. So, I think that was definitely an issue that was discussed. But I'll go back and look at the notes, Alex, and kind of see what other specifics we were looking for in that. But as far as snow buddies, I think it is kind of an ongoing thing. Luckily, so far, folks, in the knock on wood, but so far this winter season has been very, very light. What I'd like to see from snow buddies personally is just good communication with the city in terms of what they've provided in the past, what they're willing to provide, and kind of present them, the situation in terms of, hey, we understand that you're saying that it's not necessarily a city resource, in terms of people saying, well, it's their driveway or it's their sidewalk, they need to be responsible for it. But in my opinion, I mean, the city is also, responsible for accessibility of those residents in the city, and it definitely affects things. So, I think that in my opinion, there may be resources available that we don't know about, that maybe the city can just offer for us to follow up on, or provide a good contact point to where we can build with snow buddies for the next season. But of course, moving into February, knowing Michigan, that's going to be the coldest month of the year. I mean, I don't want us to run into having snowstorms and not being able to have a contingent plan for accessibility in place as well. So I'll also follow up with you on that, Alex. I'm not really sure who the best point of contact would be in terms of the city. I was thinking maybe the city ADA coordinator position could help us with that. So I can try and connect you and the PIA with them to see if we can talk to them about that and what a good course of action would be. But there's got to be some resources available, right?
Well, and I think and Councilmember Nelson can speak to this better than I can, but I think there are a couple of different, I don't want to say initiatives, but there's a couple of different directions that different council members are using to approach this issue in general. And so I think it's probably, and it has been for a little while now, and so I think it's probably worth talking a little bit more offline maybe, and figuring out if there is a next step, or if we just need to wait for some other things to play out that are currently in process.
Right, absolutely. I mean, Councilwoman Nelson, do you have any thoughts on that?
I think Alex is right, actually. I mean, we just passed a resolution last night where we're asking for an assessment of like what things would cost. And we're starting small. Because honestly, like we already have, there are big problems in turn around our properties. So we're starting there just to figure out how much would it cost for us to be like completely on top of clearing all the pathways that are technically on city property. So we're like a pretty far ways away from coming up with a plan.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Councilwoman. I appreciate that, and I'll make sure I get in touch with you and Alex to discuss that further.
Yeah, please.
Larry, you had your hand up, Vice Chairman.
Oh, good. At least I don't know if that actually comes up there when I do it. So the Snow Buddies thing initially came upon another resolution that the city was taking care of about. There were a couple of things a few years back, and one of them had to do with how much snow had to fall before the city was, could clean it up, and how much snow they could leave. And another one, and I can't remember if it was passed, and right now I can't look at my notes on the computer, but we really advocated for people not getting fined that had disabilities. But for instance, if you had a disability and you can't get out there and shovel your snow, that the city would do that if, your complex wasn't responsible. If you had your own property, for example, out there. And I know we advocated to get the city to do that and not fine the person that couldn't do it. And I remember the Snow Buddy thing came from the Snow Buddy example out there in that neighborhood. And the difficult thing is to try to make that citywide, because that Snow Buddy was a neighborhood group. And I think the problem and where the expense is going to come is to try to make that a citywide thing. And it's kind of a volunteer thing out there. I think that's what the big problem is there with that. And I don't know how difficult that's going to be to coordinate, because we've tried it a couple of times and we've got on the edge of it, but we couldn't get any farther.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So it is worth a try again, but it's difficult to coordinate all their neighborhoods and use that plan, I think.
Well, right. And
I know.
Go ahead.
The city council's been talking about like investigating like the options for funding on a citywide basis, snow removal from sidewalks, and actually meant to mention that in my report because we passed a resolution like supporting them to investigate that. I know they were going to discuss it at last night's meeting. I didn't catch what actually happened there, but I just thought I'd point that out. And I don't know that it necessarily has to involve Snow Buddy, though.
Yeah, Tim, that was part of my point, is that city that we have, if Snow Buddy doesn't pan out, maybe I can't remember if it passed through city council or not, but we really advocated a few years back that if that doesn't work, the city would be able to clear your sidewalk without any charge and without any fine, provided the fact that you could prove you couldn't do it in some way. That could be enough if it's, that's why I pointed out that existed.
Yeah, I mean, I can't answer that for sure, but I guess what we can do is again to what Alex has alluded to, as well as Councilwoman Nelson. I mean, the city, is again looking at their properties and what they're able to do, but then looking at private neighborhoods, access and that sort of thing, I think is kind of a different avenue. And of course, we've definitely got to just evaluate that. I mean, I can't make any broad strokes here or speak for other people, but what I will do, Larry and Commission, is I will follow up on that and see kind of where we're able to go. What kind of resources can the city provide, if anything, or where can they lead us to? Are there some contact points maybe with some other services that we don't even know about in terms of winter snow removal that hey, maybe you can get it like you said, Larry, paid for if you have a disability, or, how that can work. I mean, there's got to be some resources out there, because I would definitely think that it's a shame that if February comes and there's some big snowstorms here in Ann Arbor, and, people can't necessarily get out to go grocery shopping, or they can't get, where they need to go to, buy some more masks, or to get some more hand sanitizer, or whatever it is, to just continue to be safe. I would say that I wasn't doing my duty to make sure that they were, having full access to things. So, again, I'll follow up on that. I'll see kind of what can be said. I'll reach out to, John Fournier about that, and, see if he has any resources as well. And then I'll report back.
As soon as I get my computer online, I'll go to, because this came to a head now that I'm thinking about it, 2013-14, because remember the winter of 2013 was bitterly cold, and it didn't snow a lot, but every time it snowed, it stayed. And so after 30 days, we had maybe an inch or two every couple of days. We had maybe a foot of snow laying around with no place to go. And that's where it came to a head. So I think these resolutions and things I was talking about, at least in this case, had their birth or rebirth in 2013-14.
Right.
I'll have to look back there and find out exactly what we did.
Mm-hmm.
After a few years, I forget.
Right. Absolutely. And so I'll do my best, you guys, to follow up on that, and, try to utilize, I guess, any city recommendation or resource that I can. But of course, like Alex was saying, we kind of got to let things play out a little bit, kind of see, what's available, what can be done, and then go from there. All right. Next, let's see. All right. After that, do we have any other communications at this point, Denise?
No, there's no one waiting.
Okay, great. All right, folks. Well, with that, that is all I've got for the commission this evening. Is there anything else?
No new business from anybody?
Yeah, is there any new business from anyone? I'm like I said, it's just a pleasure to work.
Sorry about that, Zach. You forgot that little piece. So,
what's that?
I said you forgot that little piece just in case anybody has any new business.
Well,
I don't, but
sure, I appreciate you mentioning that, Larry. Yeah, I mean, if anybody has anything, please feel free to reach out to myself and or Denise, and we can make sure that we address it. But I just want to say to all of you that you have my gratitude. I'm grateful for the time that you spend on the commission here, and hopefully for those commissioners that could not join us this evening, hopefully we'll see them next month. But in the meantime, you guys, please stay safe and please stay healthy and keep in touch, and we'll see you next month. And thank you to CTN and to the city of Ann Arbor. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
good night.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.